Before I start, I just want to give some questions. Do you guys love social medias? I want you to raise your hand if you spend less than 3 hours on social medias daily. Well, it seems like I'm not the only one who's been dealing with this problem. Well, have you guys ever sat on your workplace thinking that you can finish all of your work tonight, that day, or something like that? But a few hours passed and nothing had been accomplished. Have you ever tried to do something new, something exciting that you've been always wanting to do, but you faced some small setbacks and you decided to quit? Well, I think even though it's a little bit different for each individual, but I think we all face the same problem. I think we all struggle to find motivation. The question is, where can we find motivation? Is motivation something we need to find? And what is motivation to you? Well, luckily, I found a solution that may help you deal with this problem in the best way possible. Today, I will teach you how to build motivation from within yourself. So, what is exactly the issue here? What is it so hard for us to stay motivated? From what I've known, it usually comes from internal problems like the fear of failure, the excuses, false promises that we always make. But I want you to imagine motivation is like a video game. The one where each struggles you are facing is just another enemy that you need to overcome until you get motivated. Well, let's start with our first enemy, the fear of failure. Only its presence is enough to weaken even the strongest minds. It's the manifestation of the fear that we cannot do something to our expectations or other expectations. Think about it. Sometimes someone is actually our worst enemy because the more we think about doing something, the more complicated our mind when it seems to be. But if we just keep avoiding failure, then we would just keep getting stuck in the same level. But if you manage to get past this enemy, then good luck with the next one, which is the bridge of bargaining. A long bridge that stretches out into oblivion, challenging the endurance of anyone who dares to step on it. This, is, this will be the turning point for most people because some might find it not worth it and turn their back, give up. Because the bridge, it wants to deceive you, wants to put questions into your head, wants you to feel hesitated. It wants to make questions like, what am I getting out of this? Are my friends putting as much effort into this as I do? And should I be doing this instead of, I don't know, all the important stuff that I should also be doing? And the more you hesitate, the shakier the bridge and the harder it is for you to come across. But if you are strong enough and get past the bridge, then good luck with the next one because this will be your most difficult enemy yet, the monster of excuses. This is the monster of excuses. Think about all the excuses that you have made. Only 8 more TikTok videos. Oh my God, I think I should be doing work right now. Or I can just do it by 8 p.m., 10 p.m., 3 a.m. Of course, no one, by that time you will be sleeping and not doing anything meaningful. But all of those excuses has now condensed into an entity that is so big, so strong, that it destroys most challenges. And if you fail to get past all of those enemies, then congrats, you've been distracted. Well, that's not the worst thing yet, because if you fail to overcome those obstacles, then you will be facing your worst enemy yet. I want you to meet Problem. As you can see, he's a very small, cute guy, but don't let that appearance fool you because when every time you make a bad decision, like missing a deadline, another one spawns in. You missed a big opportunity, another one spawns in. And you try to avoid responsibility, a few more spawns in, and now it has become a overwhelming boss that you never signed up for. And on top of that, as your pile of unfinished work starts to grow, so does its impact. Think about it. In a video game, your character needs to upgrade, needs to level up, so that later stages won't be as hard. Similarly, in reality, the more you try to avoid responsibilities, avoid doing all of your deadline, your tasks, the harder it is for you to make any progress in the future. And soon enough, your reputation is going down. Your, it will not only affect you, everyone around you also get it affected too. And before you knew it, you have made your classmate upset, your family is upset, heck, even your stupid best friend upset. Well, and that's not even the worst thing yet, because once all of those flaws, those procrastination become a habit, you start to get stuck in a very frustrating loop over and over and over because you cannot finish all of your works. So, is this the end for you? Don't give up yet because I found a solution. I think it's time for us to take control over our own game. It's time for us to build our own motivation from within. Well, it seems like a difficult task, isn't it? But don't worry, I found a solution. It's actually pretty cool. I call it the three pillars of internal motivation. Let's start with the first pillar, purpose. Now, in a video game, there will always be missions, quests that drives players forward. And I want you to make your own missions too. I want you to make questions that define your goals. Something like think about your rewards, your what you want people to see you, and what your ultimate final goal is. But the thing is, sometimes it doesn't need to be really big or too ambitious because sometimes small quests can lead to really, really big rewards. However, don't get your hopes too high because the more you expect something to happen, the harder it is for you to accept its final result. So balancing your expectation is also a really crucial ability that you need to learn. On top of that, I want you to set out short-term goals and realistically, because those short-term goals can be can be small boosts that can keep you motivated and prevent burnouts for you. Now let's go for the next pillar, direction. No successful players will rush into a new level without any strategy, right? So I want you to sit back and start thinking about what you're going to do next. I want you to make some lists. Think about the prioritized list that you can make. For example, think about uh, think about the prioritized list that you can make. For example, like this one. If it's a important stuff and it's also urgent, do it now. If it's important but not that urgent, then you can schedule it, do it later. If it's really urgent but not that important, you can just ask someone else to do it. And if it's not important and also not urgent, then screw it. Throw it into the garbage. You don't need to do it. Well, one more thing I want to talk about is that people always tend to multitasking, do a lot of things at a time. Like for me, I like to do my homeworks while listening to some YouTube videos so I can get some sounds, like ambient sounds, so I don't feel so lonely. But it usually just result in me watching the video instead of actually finishing all my homeworks. So believe me, it doesn't work. Please stop. Now let's talk about the final pillar, environment. In a video game, some bad, ugly map, cluttered, can really ruin your experience. So a so a bad workplace can also drains all of your motivation out of your body. So I want you to think about what is your biggest distractions. For example, so let's talk about a phone. What is so distracting about it? The noises, right? Turn off the notification. And if that is not enough, then try using the grayscale mode, which turns the screen into black and white and make it less vibrant, so you don't feel too distracted. And maybe you feel the room is too quiet, then turn on some relaxing music, lo-fi music, classical music, the ones that don't have any lyrics, because usually those lyrics just gonna go into your minds and make you feel really, really distracted. After mastering all of those pillars, you have successfully unlocked a really powerful skill, self-discipline. With self-discipline, you can finally beat off those monsters. You're now unbeatable. And now you can take control over your own game. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to remember that motivation is a crucial ability for any architecture to build their own buildings. And if they can't find motivation, then don't even think about building anything because it will never finish. I just want to say that the strongest empires are built from within before they rise for the world to see. My name is Luong, and thank you for listening to my TED Talk.